the trenches like a war. If they want to give them more, when I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. 4th down, 4 yards, put it all on the line. I am not worried because it is our time. I hear the crowd in the background, man, they just want to see me shine. For the hell of it, it's irrelevant. You lacking the intelligence to make it make sense. We gon' manifest whatever we came to get. That's a little money and a trophy and nothing they gon' respect. We don't care who the best, we don't worry who was next. We gon' put them boys to rest like a 10 feet of bed. I'm ahead of the rest like I came without a net. They gon' say it under breath, I'ma say it with my chest.
Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd down. Here's Mostert again. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, it's Rodgers. On the move to his left. And that is caught downfield by Beckham. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They'll run with a fullback, Juszczyk. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the 1st. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. They start the drive with Cook. Shifts by him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, You're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
On third down, Jackson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Play action. It's Jackson. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Isaiah Likely. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Colts are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
He's going to field this at the 4. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Jackson on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. He's got a man, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Linval Joseph forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From midfield now, here's Jackson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins will take over here just shy of the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he's got some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 67 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. On first down, they go with Mostert again. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, now Rodgers. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Gano the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Room here to run. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Breida, they'll go up the middle. And he stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. They run forward with Breida, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and the Colts are going to take over with a football. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration, and he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam finding room at midfield. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Jackson on 1st down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Throwing again on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll buy some time right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Lamar Jackson as the first half is winding down. And the Colts continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Gano for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Out to his left. And this is caught at the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. They go play action now. Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. Jackson options out left. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
He finds his man, Sky Moore.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Justin Jefferson.
25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and, boy, they were successful.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 23. He got 29 yards that time.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Byron Murphy there on the tackle.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On now the Miami field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And
And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game, yet at the same time.
And here's a diving catch made behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Give to Cook out of the gun. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll roll him out right. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. And Jackson throwing once more. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards that time.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Colts. Isaiah Likely. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Colts are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 72 yards rushing here for Breida. This is a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing now is Rodgers. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Jalen Phillips from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Rolling to his left. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. Flush to his right, going deep for Hopkins. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Colts are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game, and when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turtle.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and take it to the house for a Miami touchdown. Yeah, so hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that will bring up second down. Here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Play action. Now Jackson steps away. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Option play. Here's Cook. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Jefferson, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And they open the lead up now to 25. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Colts come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.
field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden.